Bartenders, what's the most unhinged thing someone has confessed to you after one too many drinks? I've been working at the Velvet Room for 12 years and trust me, I've heard it all. Cheating wives, embezzling accountants, hit-and-run drivers seeking absolution at the bottom of a bottle. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for Cordelia. She was a regular, coming in every Thursday around midnight when the crowd thinned out. Always ordered the same thing. Bourbon, 2 fingers, no ice, tipped well, minded her business, never caused trouble. The kind of customer you appreciate in this line of work. For 6 months, she'd sit in the corner booth, nursing her drink while typing furiously on her laptop. I figured she was a writer, or maybe working late shifts. She had that intense, focused energy that screamed creative type. Then came the Thursday that shattered everything. Cordelia stumbled in looking like hell, clothes wrinkled, eyes bloodshot, hands trembling so badly she could barely hold her glass. Instead of her usual bourbon, she ordered a double vodka, then another, and another. By her 5th drink, the floodgates opened. "I need to tell someone," she slurred, grabbing my wrist as I wiped down her table. Before I lose my nerve, I glanced around. The bar was nearly empty except for 2 guys playing pool in the back. "My brother thinks I'm writing a novel," she continued, her voice breaking. "Spent months researching, interviewing people, building this elaborate story about revenge and justice." She laughed bitterly, a sound that made my skin crawl. But I wasn't writing fiction. I was planning. My blood turned cold. 3 years ago, my nephew was killed by a drunk driver. 17 years old, full scholarship to MIT, whole life ahead of him. The driver? Some pharmaceutical executive named Beaumont, who'd been at a company party. Her eyes hardened. He got 6 months in minimum security. 6 months for destroying my family. My sister never recovered. She's been in and out of psychiatric facilities ever since. My brother started drinking himself to death. She pulled out her phone, showing me a news article. Beaumont died last month. Tragic accident, they called it. Fell down the stairs at his mansion. Broke his neck. I stared at the headline, my mouth going dry. Except it wasn't an accident, Cordelia whispered. I'd been watching him for months, learning his routines, his habits. He lived alone in that big house, fired his housekeeper after his wife left him. She finished her vodka in 1 gulp. I knew he'd been drinking that night, saw him stumble out of his car, so I waited until he was halfway up those marble stairs, then gave him just the tiniest push. The room started spinning. The beautiful part? His blood alcohol was so high, nobody questioned it. Rich drunk falls downstairs. Case closed. Justice finally served. She stood up, steadier than she had any right to be after that much alcohol. "But here's the thing that's eating me alive," she said, leaning closer. "It felt so good, watching him fall, seeing that look of surprise in his eyes before he hit the bottom." She placed a 50 on the table. "And now, I can't stop thinking about all the other drunk drivers who got slaps on the wrist. All the other families destroyed while the killers walked free." As she headed for the door, she turned back one last time. "Thanks for listening. I've got some research to do." After she left, I sat alone in that empty bar, staring at the news article still glowing on my phone screen. Part of me wanted to call the police. Part of me thought Beaumont got exactly what he deserved. I never saw Cordelia again. But sometimes, when I read about drunk drivers dying in freak accidents, I wonder if she's still out there, dispensing her own brand of justice 1 push at a time. The bourbon she left behind is still in my freezer, just in case she comes back.